And welcome back today. Today is April 20th. I've been trying this week to keep up, cat, with Jessie Marie Does Stuff's birthday sal, Cooney. Yesterday I had a really bad migraine, so yesterday was kind of a write-off for me. I do suffer from chronic migraines. They haven't been too bad this year, but I've still had more than my share probably. But I did take prescription medicine about 10:30 last night, and so I'm still recovering. So I apologize if I'm a little loopy. I did record I did try vlogging, and I recorded a couple of very short spots that I will insert if they're any good, but I know one of them, the dogs were barking, and my daughter had just come home from someplace, so you might hear a little bit of her towards the end of one clip. But this is spring break as well as Easter for this area, so it is what it is. It's life, and I don't apologize because, you know, just to have life is wonderful. And I've got the animals because I'm sitting out in my sunroom area, and so they're all in attendance. Well, most of them are in attendance. I worked on quite a few things. Yes, like I said, yesterday was a write-off. I was supposed to work on my elephant biscornu, which I'm going to move into today and start that, as well as work on Pretty Little New York, which I think is what I have scheduled for today as part of Jessie Marie Does Stuff's birthday sale. So, bear with me. I will insert any vlog clips here. And hopefully those were okay. If not, you wouldn't have seen them. And then I also received a monthly, I sent for a monthly installment to this Darn Good Yarn company, who is in New York State. They're a company that's out of Schenectady, Scotia area of New York, which is very close to where I used to work. And I really like their things. I have ordered some of their skirts and I've received them. They're made out of reclaimed sari silk, and they're wrap skirts, and I really like them. They're great for over leggings, and I think will be very comfortable for spring and summer. But I will show you my monthly installment, which is a skein of yarn, and I crochet, so I hope you enjoy that. And I'm going to put that in right here. Hi, and welcome. That's a little too close, hang on. Sorry if it makes you sick. Oop, there's a close-up in my nose. I received a package in the mail, so this is just a quick opening. I bought some wrap skirts made of old sari silk and things from a company called Darn Good Yarn. Darn Good Yarn. That's it. And they were founded in 2008, and is actually a local company, or fairly local. Oh, there's Rowdy. And they are in Scotia, New York, Schenectady, around there. And it's pretty close to where I used to work, which was in Albany, New York. And they have a shop that does business with women of Nepal and India, helping to give them some self-employment, and they create the goods, and then the Darn Good Yarn over here sells the goods, and they have an online presence. And so I thought that I would kind of spread the word. I can read the mission. Their mission is simple: provide phenomenal quality fibers to enthusiasts while helping the women of Nepal and India become autonomous and self-reliant, which is, you know, amazing. It's always good to help areas become self-sufficient, because you can feed a person once, but if you teach them how to grow crops and feed themselves, they can live forever. So I think that's wonderful. And it says Darn Good Yarn hand selects 300 women in Nepal and India for their skill and offers them appropriate means to support their families that not only allows them to survive, but to thrive. And by allowing these women to work from home, Darn Good Yarn has the ability to spread employment opportunities to people who might not otherwise have the chance. And it says, when you invest in Darn Good Yarn for your projects, you're not only using yarn that is helping a family eat, have proper medical care, and send their children to school, but you are making your final piece that carries a history within each stitch that in turn enhances the beauty of the overall story. And they invite you to join their team by purchasing things. Now, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook the Darn Good Yarn bowl, but this is sold by them, and I think these are handcrafted in India. And I'm looking for the viewfinder. I don't know if you can tell, but this is an absolutely beautiful bowl, and it does have a stamp on the bottom. Let me turn it right side up and get it up to the viewfinder. And it just says Darn Good Yarn. But it's beautiful. And you put your ball of yarn in there, and then your working strand comes out here, and it actually holds your yarn in place while you work. And that's really good. So anyway, they also have a monthly subscription, and it's unusual yarn. Sometimes it's strips of sari fabric, but you can go to their website and see the types of things that they offer. And so this is the package that I received in the mail, and it's from Darn Good Yarn, and it has their sticker on it. And you can hear Wally, because now he thinks that because I'm sitting here, he should play. Oh, he's going to smell it. Oh, you can see how the animals walk braiding through the background. Let me just open that. I did bring scissors out to make that a little easier. Maybe. Let me open the envelope and pull out the stuff. Oh, stuff. Ooh, colorful stuff. Look at that. Now this is my first monthly subscription chitnet, and it's tied beautifully with a piece of sari silk. So it's a piece of gold sari ribbon, which is beautiful. Look at that. Yay. So that won't go to waste. I will save that. And then I was looking for their card because I couldn't find it. And it just says, we're happy to have you as part of our Darn Good Yarn family. And so that's it. And they have on their website, they offer the opportunity to go out and get patterns. And then they send like this is a tiered air plant hanger. It's crochet, which is good because I crochet. And then they also give the knitting instructions. So it's a crochet and a knit, and it's a tiered air plant hanger. And it gives you the instructions, the pattern. And then it gives you the skein of yarn, and this is roving silk yarn. Look at those gorgeous colors. See, Darn Good Yarn. This is roving silk yarn, and it's fair trade reclaimed silk waste yarn. It's 150 yards, 100 grams, single ply, reasonably priced, high quality yarn that helps women in India and Nepal gets rid of waste. It says dry clean or hand wash cold water, dry flat to dry. And they also give, this is a metal crochet hook, because I did say, and this is a 5mm. So, yay. And it's a pretty red. So that's fun. And I like knowing that, you know, I can do my crafts, and it in turn benefits women and families in other countries. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will leave the link below this video to Darn Good Yarn, and check them out. I think you'll like them. They sell skirts too, which I love their skirts, so take a look. You won't be disappointed. back to the other video. And hopefully that worked out okay. And so a little bit more about New York, because I know in my last video I said that I was born and raised in New York. My son has moved back to, I don't know, Brooklyn, Astoria area of New York City. But I don't live in New York City. I live in upstate New York, about 2.5 to 3 hours from New York City. I love it up here. I've got some acreage with woods. I live in the country. I could never live in the city. I'm not a city girl. I don't mind visiting the city for short spans of time, but my family is not from the city either. We're upstate people. And the thing that people, and I didn't get a map. I meant to get a map. New York City is like, you know, this big. New York State is this big. If I wanted to go to Niagara Falls, it would be an all-day trip, an all-day drive just to get there. It's a vacation plan. New York State is not a small state, for anybody who doesn't know. If I drive across the state from here, it would probably take me, I don't even know because I haven't done it in so long, but probably 5 or 6 hours to get over to Erie by Ohio. It's not a short drive, and it could be even longer than that. I haven't done it in many years. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a clarification, I guess, on a statement that says my family is from New York, because I want to make sure everybody knows it's New York State, not New York City. Although New York City is part of New York State, it's a very small part of New York State. Densely populated area, but very small. So anyway, on with what I've been doing. And like I said, I've worked on quite a few things. I've actually did work on my birthstone dragon cell, which I had put away and hadn't touched for a while. And I'm behind because I am still working on, looking for something to put behind it. I am still working on March's dragon. Yeah, that's right side up. So I have a ways to go on this dragon, not terrible, but I will be moving into the April dragon for the 21st of Jessie Marie's sale, because that's working on something Taurus or difficult or diamond related. So I figured that's a good excuse to actually move into April's dragon, which I'm looking forward to because I do like this chart. It's really fun to stitch. It's just I've had a lot of other things that I've been stitching on, so it's taken a little bit of a back seat. And let's see, I'm trying to decide if I should go in order or just, the only problem with sitting here is I don't really have any place to put my work. Let's see. I've also worked a little bit on some mania ideas. I think I'm going to put that in a separate video because this one may be already a little bit on the long side. So, let's see. Let me see if I can find my Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Sorry. Alright, the first thing I was supposed to do was work on your oldest whip. Your first or your oldest. And of course, I think I said my... Okay. My oldest whip. Did I even bring it out here? Yes, I did. And that's my Country Garden. Sorry for the glare. But there's my Country Garden. And I love this. Like I said, I've already done... This was a series back in 1988 in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. It's beautiful. I heard somebody say that in the 80s you could only really get cartoony designs, and that's not true. If all they could find were cartoony designs, they didn't look very hard. Just saying. Anyway, this whip is old and it's dirty. And Jessie Marie, this whip is almost as old as you are. It is almost, in August, it'll be 29 years old. Sad to say. But there's that. and it is coming along. This color green right here, this extra thread, I'm in the flower area right here, which is very heavily confettied, and so I just put maybe 25 stitches in this moss green color in, and I think I was fairly busy that day, so I didn't have a lot of time to devote to it. But I believe that this whip will be coming back out later in the sale. And if not, I will be working on it. I do really like that. So I'll put that over here with Burstone Dragons. And so on April 16th, it was related to J, D, M, and or S. And it was also Easter Sunday. So I had decided for Jessie Marie's Stitch Along to work on my, and I did, this was in part of the vlog, so I apologize for showing it again, but just in case I didn't do the vlogs, I want to show you. This is the Bewitching Cross Stitch book. It's a Joan Elliott. Over here, Joan Elliott. And it's the Dancing Unicorn, which is right here. That one. So, my Dancing Unicorn, I had torn everything out and started over a while ago, and I didn't get much put back into this. But what I worked on was I'll use this. Hang on, sorry. See? All discombobulated. But there's the Dancing Unicorn. And I worked on a lot of the white. And a little bit of the gray. And it's a fun stitch too. Again, but I did start my day, because of it being Easter Sunday, I started my day working on my cross-eyed cricket Leaping Rabbit. And that's what this looks like, cross-eyed cricket collection. And I want to do the Hoppy Easter, but I'm doing it instead of that white rabbit. I'm doing it with this jelly bean belly tree topper rabbit. And I got quite a bit done here. The last time I showed it, I think I just had, let me fold it a little. I just had the back part of the rabbit done and the legs, like only the green. Let me find it. The green here. So on Easter Sunday, I filled in all of this middle section. I did the navy blue that's in the green, the eggplant color, the yellows, moving on towards the front of his Argyle sweater. And I do think this body looks like jelly bean, so that'll actually come up later in Jessie Marie's style. So that was Easter Sunday. And that was good. So then on the 18th, it was maroon, red, orange, or purple. So for that one, hold on just a second. Oh, can't fix it. Sorry. I did, his name is Jesus, because I'm doing it in shades of maroons, reds, purples, and blues. And that's what that looks like. And before I had finished the name Jesus, and I had started working on the H in his. And now I have finished that whole centerpiece, which was my goal, was to finish His Name is Jesus. And I think that came out really pretty. It's fairly good size. I'm doing it on a 28 count Monaco that you can buy at Hobby Lobby. So, and it stitches up really easy, and I'm just doing this in hand. I'm not using any frame or hoop. So that's fun. Yesterday I was supposed to be doing something animal or bulldog, and it was going to be my elephant Biscornu, which was going to be a new start. And I was going to make it for my daughter. See if I can get it out of here so I can show it to you. And I'm going to work on this today, because I didn't get a chance. But this is Satsuma Street Elephant Biscornu, and I think it's beautiful. And this is what the back of it, the bottom of the Biscornu. It's really beautiful, bright colors. It's elephants. It's my daughter's favorite. It's an animal. It works. And like I said, that was supposed to be yesterday. I'm going to be doing it today. Let's see. Today, I might not have brought today's out, but today I'm supposed to work on Pretty Little New York, because that is Miss Congeniality Something Pretty. So Pretty Little New York works. It's beautiful colors. It's Satsuma Street, and I know I will enjoy it. So that's what I will be doing. Oh, and in case my other videos didn't come up, no, I did get my hair cut. I got every single haircut, and she got a little scissor happy. So, but I like it. It's easy to take care of and works for me. Okay, so that's up to today for Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and that I'm having a good time. It's a lot of fun. So Jessie Marie, thank you for doing this, and I'm enjoying it. Now, Hade, I showed in my last video that I had completed challenge number 4, and I'd gotten the 2 free patterns, and I'd ordered 2 more patterns. And I like large projects, I guess, although I have to say it would be nice to have a finish sometimes, but that's okay, because I'll show you, and I might have shown you when I was starting it if the vlogs made it. But this is, let me move that out of the way. This is what, oh, I better show you the pattern first. I actually did start my witching hour, and I love, I showed you Spike in my vlog clip. So there's what the witching hour looks like. Black cat. It's the ornament size, which is great because I got it. I had said was doing it on a 10 by 10. Well, that was a mistake. I actually had to recut my fabric, and I put it on a 13 by 13 to make sure it was going to fit. There's some stray fibers on there. Oh, there goes my needle minder. Oh well. Having a hard day, but that's where I got. And that was just the afternoon stitching. And this is a really fun, this is all black, which is the DMC number 12 cotton, is what I'm doing the black in, which kind of makes the really dark 3371 brown that I'm doing 2 over 1. I think this is 25 count Magic Guide with both of these, and it makes the brown look a little thin, but I like the way the black is full. And I did do some test stitching, and this is what 1 over 1 looked like, and this was the 2 over 1, and I just like the 2 over 1 better. Even though it is a very thick thread, I like the way the 2 over 1 looks. So I stuck with 2 over 1 even for the number 12. Excuse me 1 minute. I want to pick the needle minder up before the dog decides it's a toy. But anyway, so that's where I am on witching hour. And I am really having a good time with it. I love cats. As you could probably tell, anybody who watches my videos, a lot of my charts, like Frederick the Literate, and I got the double cat bookshelf. Of course, I got the double dog bookshelf too. I like animals. Let me think. Oh, I also worked a little bit on my Princess and the Unicorn stitch. Now this is one I really love, and I do want to get this one finished. Let me open it up and show you what she'll look like finished. And again, anything that you see that's colored is mostly fabric that I've dyed myself. But there's the Princess and the Unicorn. She is in Cross Stitch Myth and Magic, which is a David and Charles book. And the designer is Susan Penny. So there's what she'll look like when she's finished, or something like that anyway. And this is where she is right now. Put this behind it. I did a little bit more. This is like a light, pale, bluey purple. And I did a little bit more in the unicorn's face and ears. It's a little slow going, but I'm really enjoying it. And I love the way it looks. This is tea-dyed, over-dyed Ada that I did myself. I think it probably started out as 14 count. It's now 18 count. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun stitch. And the needle minder, the Russian doll type thing, is a ceramic button that I bought in Joann's and made a needle minder out of. I really like that too. And let's see. Oh, I suppose I'm going to go into haul, because what I bought besides Witching Hour, and I didn't really buy a lot, was The Amazing Animal Kingdom. It was just released, and of course this is not the mini, it's the full-sized, and I bought the chart in large format. Michelle had a sale on the Hague website that was still going on, and I just had to have this chart. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful colors. It has amazing animals, which is probably why it's called The Amazing Animal Kingdom. But I will at least get this started sometime. I'm not sure when. And then I wanted to go back and talk about the Dragons of Sumatra by Ink Circles. I bought that chart. I showed it in my last video. Show it again. And I bought some 18 count Ruby Wine Ada. And I got both things, the chart and the Ada, from 123 Stitch. And that's the chart, Dragons of Sumatra. And you can see it's done on like ancient fabric here. But instead of that, I bought this Ruby Wine Red. Because when I think of ancient tapestries and stuff hanging in castles, I always think of more the Asian, Oriental style with the red background. And what I thought I would do for thread, everybody's talking about sulky now, and I have quite a lot of sulky sewing thread. And this is Signature. It's sulky, it's Signature, it's Pixels, and it's size 30. And it's tribal polyester. And that's the color it is. It's like purples and greens and creams. And they call it eggplant. And I did do some test stitching. I did full crosses, I did 10th stitch, and then I did full crosses. So here's a full cross, and that's 2 over 2. That's a 10th stitch. Is it 2 over 2? Yeah, 2 over 2. And then that's 10, or is that full cross? That's a full cross with a single. And I think I like the full cross with the single thread the best. So that's what I'm thinking about doing for my Dragons of Sumatra, is using this thread on this fabric, which is cool. And then maybe, I haven't decided what yet, but I may do the dragons, where the dragons are, do these dragons in more of a golden color to make them stand out from the rest of the background. Maybe a golden, I don't know. I haven't decided. But that is my thought for Dragons of Sumatra and thread. Let's see. What else? We had a few sunny days, and now it's mostly overcast. It's been kind of cool the last few days. We actually did have a couple of days where it actually went up to 90s. And then it got cool again, and now it's kind of overcast and rainy. And that's probably where my migraines came from this time, because I have food triggers, like nitrates and things, and preservatives in food will trigger my migraines. The weather changes trigger my migraines because a lot of it's a sinus trigger. All kinds of smells will trigger. I had brain surgery when I was 27. I had a tumor on my pituitary gland, which is like behind the bridge of your nose. So when they went in my head through my nose to take my tumor out, I thought maybe the migraines would stop, but they didn't. So I get migraines, which is okay because the alternatives would really suck. Let's see. Not sure how long this video is at this point, but I should probably, I brought something else down to show you. I'm not going to go through it now because it would take too long. I have boxes of cross-stitching magazines. I mean, I got boxes of beading magazines. I've got boxes of doll-making magazines. I've got patterns. I have, bag patterns. I have all kinds of stuff. I'm definitely not a person who needs anything. I could shop in my house, and my family can shop in my house, and probably my friends could shop in my house. And we would never have to spend any money. I mean, I have beads that you wouldn't believe. Polymer clay. Sometime I'll show you. I know that mortuary stitches, I'm not sure what your name is. I'm sorry. I know you said Jay. But mortuary stitches, I was watching her video today, and she was saying how she really likes witches. I do have some of the, like the oh my goodness, some of the patterns she was showing with witches. Well, Plum Street samplers maybe. I have a couple of theirs that I want to put in a solid piece of fabric. But I've also made quite a few witches in my doll making career. So I was thinking maybe sometime I'll put up a video and show you some of the witches I've made. Some of them are cloth. I have actually a couple of dark polymer clay dolls, witches. And I've also sold a few witches. People really do seem to like witches. I sold this one witch that I kind of wish I still had. And she was beautiful. I mean, she was big, she was full. Not life-size, but, probably 18 to 24 inches, and the camera decided it was done. But she was in lime greens and purples, and she had a dyed face, and she was really amazing. Lots of black tulle and black fabric. The pointy witch's shoes, the whole 9 yards. I had a friend that bought her a quilt guild that I went to at the time to do a quilt for an auction, and she loved that witch, and she bought that witch. So I don't have that one anymore, and I have another friend who bought my spider witch. So I've made quite a few witches, so I like witches too. They're a lot of fun. And I always said I could do ugly better than pretty, so most of my dolls are more on the dark vein than the pretty vein. But anyway, I digress, because that's another video too. I thought I would show this binder. Now this binder is from a project I did when I was working. And I took the project, the training project, out of it. And everything in here now is a cross-stitch pattern. None of it's kitted. Most of it, some of it's free. But for the most part, they are purchased patterns. Some of my Dragon Sal is in there. Teresa Wensler, Joan Elliott, Faces of Fairy Sal. My Barbara Anna design, A New World, Part 5 is in here. There's Halloween stuff. There's Happy Everything. There's Long Dog samplers. That's another thing I wanted to say is I don't consider myself a sampler stitcher. I see primitive samplers and I think that they're beautiful. But, I mean, ink circles and Long Dog samplers and things like that, I think are amazing. Amazing. I have the English Cottage sampler, which I don't know that I'll ever get to. And I think Blit Stitch told me that there's a lot of corrections necessary in this version. So I would have to go out and find that. But that's that sampler. I seem to be attracted to large projects. And I have a lot of them. So I will be very busy. Oh, I think I just came across. Yeah. So I've got these. This was what I was saying with mortuary stitches. I have Away We Ride. Let me pull them out of here. And I think I showed these on a prior video when I first bought them. Because I have quite a few Halloween stitches because I also really like Halloween. But that's Away We Ride. Now that one, sorry, this one I would really love to do. I think this one is gorgeous. And this one I might even buy the fabric for. Oh, who am I kidding? I would tea dye the fabric, coffee stain it, walnut stain it, whatever. But then I also have the Misfortune, which Mortuary Stitches showed. And I have Who's There? And I have Double Double. And those three I want to put on a single stitch. Either that or in a triple mat in a frame, which I think would be really cool. So I have lots of plans. Not plans. Every time I make a plan, no. Something bad happens. I have lots of ideas. Lots of things I'd like to do. And I believe that if I'm going to have it in a stash, it doesn't really matter if it's in a stash unstarted or if it's stash that's started. Because to me it's much easier to pick it up and work on it when I feel like it than it is to have to pick it up and figure out how to start it. Because sometimes starting it is half the battle. So I have lots of things I need to do. And as far as my next Halloween stitch, this Halloween Mew is going to be my next Halloween stitch. I haven't got that idea germinated. It's germinating in my brain. But anyway, that's probably enough for this video. If you'd like to see anything in more detail of the things that I've shown this time, please put that in the comments below. I will add the link to the Darn Good Yarn Company. I think that that is a very worthwhile project that they have. I will show some of my witches. I'm not going to show them in this video though. I may make them part of a separate video maybe. I don't know. They're all up. I'm looking up because they're on a shelf in my sunroom above a bank of windows. They're my constant company out here. So anyway, I hope that you have been stitching, that you are in good health. If you're not in good health, you're in my prayers. I pray for all my stitchy friends, for health and happiness and time to do what you love. We stitch for all different reasons, so to unwind, to relax, to occupy your mind, whatever it is that makes you happy.